Not that I have any intent to save this shape here, but it's a good idea to save your files. So Command S, make sure you're going into the Illustrator folder inside your Documents folder and save this out as livecorners01.ai. The .ai is provided by Illustrator. We provide everything to the left of that dot. Now, after clicking OK in the second dialog box, and that second dialog box deals with saving versions of Illustrator prior to the current one. And there are reasons to do that, but it's not necessary for us to go into that at this point. So I'm going to click here and hit delete. And then come down, and no matter which tool you have here, I'm going to come down to the ellipse tool. And then I want to show you something. I'm going to hunt in the center, and if you don't have Smart Guides on, you know it's under View. And if Smart Guides are checked, you have it on. If it's not checked, you don't have it on. Make sure it's checked. Okay? Then come out here and look for the center. And you're going to find a little pink text that says center. I want to draw a perfect circle around this center point. So if I start drawing, I get an ellipse, I get everything moving off to the right. But if I hold Option while still holding down the mouse button, I draw from the center. If I add the Shift key to Option, I'm holding down Option and Shift, I can draw a perfect circle that takes up most of the entire artboard. All right, and you let go of your mouse button before you let go of Shift and Option, or those modifier keys no longer affect your shape. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on the black arrow and point out, do you see a lack of live corners here? There's a good reason for that, because a circle has no corners. But if you're paying attention, you might be saying, hey, what's this thing here? What is that? And what happens if I pull on it? Whoa, look at that. And then what happens if I pull on this one? Whoa. And look down here. We have our Ellipse Properties. I'm in the Transform panel, and it's fully opened. And I'm going to go ahead and double click here and say maybe 35, and then hit Tab. And I don't want to do math. I'll let Illustrator do it for me, and hit -35. And then Illustrator did the math. And what if we take that stroke off and then make the fill active? And what if we make, let's go over to, well, we don't have to go into swatches. We can just select something here. Does this look familiar? Huh? You recognize this? Some of you are already drawn Pac-Man. Did you draw it this way? But I didn't show you this to show you how to make Pac-Man. We're talking about live corners. So if I select this, we still have no live corners. We just have these handles. However, if I switch to the Direct Selection tool, look what we got here. Live corners. And if I select one single anchor point, I can affect this live corner by itself. I can select a different anchor point and move this a different amount. And then this anchor point and make this a third amount. Now, what if this were something like an artist palette? You've seen these. You got to have a hole for either the finger or the thumb, though. So why don't we get the circle tool again, come up here, and we want to draw a perfect circle. Okay? So I'm going to hold down Shift, or you get those crosshairs, which tells you, hey, that's a perfect circle. Well, this is too close to the edge. So I'm going to hit the letter V to get my selection tool and move this over a little bit, and then select both shapes. Then get the trusty Shape Builder tool, come in here, and I'm going to roll over. You notice that this, I can add this. Now this is part of my active selection. I can come in here, hold down Option. Option says Subtract. Now when I click this, I have this nice little circle. And, is this perfect? No, it needs some work. And, I can hit the letter A. This is the shortcut. V gets you the selection tool because it's very important. And A is the direct selection tool. So you can snag certain anchor points and move them around and change, the way this shape looks. And then an artist palette is very seldom yellow. It's more in the brownish tint and, maybe there. And then you put blobs of paint on here. Now, this is not great, but this is just showing you what you can do with just starting out with something simple like a circle, whether it's Pac-Man or this or some other organic shape you want to work at. Just be aware of what you can do with simple shapes.